Hey guys, this is Heather from healthyeatingstartshere.com. Okay, I've got a bit of a treat for you today. I'm going to be making a recipe from a wonderful site called oshiglows.com, which is run by the fantastic Angela Liddon. She makes phenomenal recipes, so if you have not yet checked out her site, go do that right now. She uses fantastic ingredients. I love all her stuff, and she makes a lot of healthy baked treats, so if you're into that kind of thing, go check it out. She also makes a ton of, salads and dinners and lunches and breakfasts and all that kind of good stuff. So what we're going to do is make her peanut butter and jam glow bites, and my inspiration for this was some jam that I picked up when I was in Bermuda. It's made by the Bermuda Jam Factory, and they're working to get distribution into the States, so hopefully sometime soon you can pick some up for yourself. This one is a papaya and sweet pepper preserve, and it's made with agave nectar, so for those of you who need low glycemic jams, this is a good one to do. And one thing to be careful of when you're buying jams and jellies is that a lot of them use gelatin, which is made from animal bones. So for those of you who are vegan, you'll want to make sure you look for jams like this one that are made with pectin. Pectin comes from the seeds of fruits. That's how they used to make jam naturally, was just with the seeds. As they were making a fruit jam, they would get the pectin out of the seeds. And now we can actually buy the pectin as powder, and it's a lot easier, but anyway, that's what you want to look for when buying jam. So I'm going to use this, and we're going to get started with all of the wonderful ingredients that I have out from Angela's recipe. Okay, first things first, I got the oven preheating, and I've got some muffin cups. I put papers in to line. You can also grease them, or if you have silicone muffin cups, that's a great way to go. And then her recipe calls for margarine, which I do not have, but I do have some coconut oil, so I'm going to use that and hope things turn out. This is for the crust. We're going to start by making that. All right, to my coconut oil, I'm adding some sucanat. I'm actually using coconut sugar, some ground flax, and some cinnamon. And she says to mix this in a mixer, which I don't have at the moment, so I'm just going to mix it up by hand and then add the flour. Sometimes the best way to mix things like this when there's just oil for moisture is to use your hands. So just wash your hands before you start and then have fun with it. Okay, so my crust was a little bit dry, I think because I used whole wheat flour instead of spelt, which is what the recipe calls for. Whole wheat is a little heavier and absorbs more of the moisture. Anyway, I added a bit more coconut oil, a couple tablespoons, and then that wound up being too much. So I had to add a little more flour, and I put a bunch more flax in, and now I am perfect. So I'm just pressing it into the tins, and it's looking lovely. All right, moving on to the filling now, which is going to start with some almond milk. I like to get the unsweetened kind, and then I'm going to add some peanut butter, which I get the natural peanut butter that is just peanut. It's the best kind to get. Okay, a little more sugar, a little more flour. This is whole wheat pastry flour, which is a lot thinner of a consistency than just regular whole wheat flour. And then some vanilla and baking powder. Mix it all up. Yum, this filling looks really good. Check that out. Okay, so we're just going to throw some of this into each muffin tin. She says to fill it up just halfway. I'm going to start with a spoonful in each and then add if necessary. Have some left. All right, managed to get the jam open. Tip for people who have trouble with jars, I just bashed it on the side of the counter to loosen it. Okay, so just gonna spoon a little bit of jam on top here. Now the other idea that Angela mentioned in the recipe is that you can add some chocolate chips, which would be lovely. I don't think they would go with the papaya sweet pepper, but if you wanted to, you could just put some chocolate chips instead of jam. Just look for dark chocolate chips that do not have milk. Even some dark chocolate has milk in it, or milk fat. So check the ingredients when you buy. Okay, so then just pop these in the oven at 350 for 15 minutes. While I wait for them to cook, I'm gonna have a little rice cake with some peanut butter and my jam. Give it a little taste. It's so good. I'd never tried jam, like a sweet jam with pepper in it before. Goes so nicely with the papaya. All right, I've got them fresh out of the oven. They've had a chance to cool off a bit. Let's So I'm gonna give one a taste. Although I can tell you that I had a taste of the filling before I even baked them, and it was delicious. So I'm expecting really good things. So good, so good. I really, really like this recipe. The crust is very simple and not too sweet. The filling is really peanutty, but I love the vanilla in it. It really adds that feeling of being a baked treat, but it's not so sweet that you would feel bad eating it for breakfast. And the jam on top is just a perfect complement. Next time I might try doing some chocolate chips on them, because I think that would be lovely. That might make it more of a dessert. This is still sweet enough to be a dessert, and I would probably eat it for dessert, but it's not like a cake or a cupcake kind of sweetness level. So I really enjoyed this. You can check out the recipe from Angela, and of course check out her site at oshiglows.com, and stay tuned for me. I'll be posting more recipes and nutrition info every week. You can subscribe to my channel or on my email list on my website. So that's it for today. I'll see you guys again soon.